Welcome and or welcome back to my channel. I'm Hannah Blackwell, and today I'm going to be sharing the Romantasy Reader Tag. This is a new tag created by Jess from Peace Love Books. I did originally do a fantasy romance reader tag. I will leave that playlist down below of everyone who's participated in that. But this is like a new Romantasy fantasy romance tag, and there's a lot of awesome questions in here. I was just so inspired, and I was like, I have to do this tag immediately. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Jess, for creating this tag. This is going to be a lot of fun. If you are a Romantasy or fantasy romance reader, stick around because we're just going to talk all things fantasy romance and romantasy. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you like fantasy romance or romantasy, make sure you click the subscribe button because a lot of the content I do is fantasy romance and romantasy focused. So you'll find lots of that type of content on my channel. Go ahead and click the like button and check out all my socials down below in the description. Without further ado, let's get into these questions. Okay, so the first question is, what was your gateway romantasy book? So I'm going to answer kind of similarly to the first tag that I did, which is the paranormal romance books that I kind of started with, I think, which was Night Pleasures by Sherilyn Kenyon, which is like more of a paranormal urban fantasy, urban paranormal type of book about vampires, but I have multiple editions of it because it's one of my favorite books and one of my favorite series of all time. In terms of actual romantasy, fantasy romance, I do have to be kind of basic and say ACOTAR because this is the first new adult fantasy romance book or series that I have read. I think the series started out as young adult, but now it's adult. So yeah, this would be the first adult one that I've read. Technically, I read like the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I read the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. So I guess those could have technically been a gateway, but they're YA and I don't really read YA romantasy. So those are all kind of the path that led me to my first technical fantasy romance, adult fantasy romance series, which was A Court of Thorns and Roses, which everyone's heard about. I'm not going to give a synopsis because I'm sure you've heard about this. Ooh, okay, so the next question is kind of a doozy because I have a few that I could use for this one too. What's the longest romantasy book that you have read? Let me check because I did check the length of Zodiac 6, but I don't think I checked the length of Zodiac Academy 5. And I think that Zodiac Academy 5 might be longer than the 6th. Okay, yes. Okay. Because I think, let me see. This is like 830 something, but this is the physical copy. And I have noticed that ebooks tend to be longer than hardcovers, which is weird. Now, Zodiac 5 ebook is like over almost 900 pages, but the hardcover is less than 700 pages. I guess it depends on which you would say, because Zodiac 5, technically the ebook is closer to 900. It's like 880 something pages. So one of these two, I would say. Though I do know that coming up this month in February, I'm supposed to be reading Zodiac 7, which is 1,000 pages. So I'm about to read the longest fantasy romance book I have ever read. So there's that to keep in mind. I'm going to keep that out there because I know that's going to be an answer for another question too. But okay, so either Crescent City 3 or one of the Zodiac Academy books, I guess, is going to be my answer. Crescent City has very long books. I'm pretty sure Court of Silver Flames was quite long too, but I think that was right there in the just around 800 pages range. Number 3, what is an underrated romantasy more people need to read? Okay, I have multiple answers that I could use for this one, especially because I actually did do, I think it was like a couple of months ago, I did a video of underrated fantasy romance books. So I have a whole bunch of underrated fantasy romance recommendations on that list. So I'm just going to go with one that is literally one of my favorite underrated romantasies of all time, and that is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. Everyone talks about When the Moon Hatched, and it is deserved. That is such a good book. I can't wait to read book 2. But this series is her first series, and it is so good. It's underrated. It's more Morley Gray, more dark, a bit of a taboo kind of romance in here as well. So I highly recommend, if you liked When the Moon Hatched, but you also like dark romantasy, maybe check this one out. I do get worried about that series though, because it's been 2 years since she's come out with a book in that series. There's 3 books out so far, but When the Moon Hatched has kind of taken over, especially I think because it's traditionally published, so she has those deadlines on her. I'm hoping she will be continuing on with that Crystal Bloom series because I love it. I still like it more than When the Moon Hatched. So what is the longest Romantasy series you've read? That would be Zodiac Academy. That's why I kept this one out. This is the 7th book, which I haven't read yet, Heartless Sky. But I have read 6 books and a novella in this series so far. That would definitely be the longest series that I have read so far. I haven't finished the series though. So if you're gonna ask what's the longest completed series that I have, like, well, no, because ACOTAR is not technically complete either. So yeah, I would just say this, like, this is the most books I've ever read in a series. I still have a lot more to go. I still have to read 7, 8, 8.5, and 9. And there is technically the Awakening as Retold by the Boys, which is a full-length novel, and I have not read that one. And there's at least 1 or 2 other novellas or short stories in the universe, or in the series too, that I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up or not. Zodiac Academy is, I love it. I love the Twisted Sisters. I'm reading Dark Fae right now, which is a connected series, but it's a Why Choose series, and it's the first book in that series, and I'm reading that right now, and I'm really enjoying my time with it. Okay, question number 5. What is a Romantasy book that is worth the hype? So many. Like, I think Zodiac Academy is 100% worth the hype, but I'm not going to keep answering Zodiac Academy for every freaking answer. I'm going to say Spark of the Everflame, because we're seeing it's traditionally published now. A lot of people are talking about this series. So many people had Glow of the Everflame as their favorite book of 2024. And I loved Glow. I loved Spark. I gave both of these 5 stars. Like, I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm looking forward to reading the next book in the series that's already out. And then I think there's still going to be 1 more book that has not been released yet. Another one I would definitely say is Quicksilver. Quicksilver is 100% worth the hype. This one has been all over TikTok, and I think it got ranked like number 2 or 3 on Goodreads 2024 Romantasy list. This one is super freaking cool. It's portal fantasy romance, and I'm obsessed with Kingfisher. Okay, number 6. What Romantasy has your favorite romance? This is such a good question. I freaking love this question. There's so many, but I have to say the one I'm so attached to, which might be the 2nd longest series that I've read, but this is the Plated Prisoner series. So Guild is the first book in this series, and you don't really meet Slade until the end of this book, and then it's a super slow burn of romance from there. But he's 100% my favorite book boyfriend of all time. I'm fully obsessed with him. And him and Oren's romance is so amazing. There's so much character growth. There's so much passion. And Raven Kennedy does such an amazing job of really making you feel that passion between them and that amazing connection. It's just so freaking good. I'm obsessed with their romance. I'm obsessed with these characters. I'm obsessed with this series. I still have to read Goldfinch. That's all I have left. It just came out a few months ago, and I'm ready. I pre-ordered the audiobook. It's coming out on March 4th. I did put Goldfinch on my February TBR until I realized the audiobook was coming out on March 4th. So now I'm probably going to hold off until March for that one. I do highly recommend the audiobooks for that series. Like, I think they are really well produced. Okay, number 7. What is your favorite cover of a Romantasy book? Okay, so, okay, I have 2 answers. One of them I own and one of them I don't. So the one that I own is When the Moon Hatched. And this cover is absolutely stunning. I love the color combination of the icy blues and whites and black. I think it's just really well done. And then the one that I don't own is, I love all the covers in the Bonded by Thorns series, which is a Why Choose fantasy romance series. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And the covers in this series are gorgeous. I'm also really enjoying it. I've read the first 2 books. I've been buddy reading it with April from Happily Ever April. April, I hope you do this tag. I'm going to tag you. But I really, really loved this series so far. Looking forward to continuing on. I think we've talked about buddy reading the 3rd book maybe in March, and it's really good, but specifically, I adore the covers so freaking much. Okay, next one. What is, oh no. Oh no. I don't want to answer this one. What is your all-time favorite Romantasy? Can I pass? Like, I don't know. This is so stressful. No. Like, I have multiple. Okay, so I would say Zodiac Academy, but I haven't finished the series yet. ACOTAR for sure, which I've already talked about. You guys have seen those. So A Court of Thorns and Roses series, Zodiac Academy series, To Bleed a Crystal Bloom series, and the Plated Prisoner series, I would say too. I would say those are probably my 4 favorite series. But I have not finished. None of them are finished yet. So that's like a problem. But those are like my favorite series. I mean, I guess Plated Prisoner's done, and so is Zodiac Academy, but I haven't finished them. But those, like, I feel like are all equal in my mind. They're like all equal. Who is your all-time favorite romantasy author? I would say all of those authors from my favorite book. So like Raven Kennedy, Sarah J Maas. Though Sarah J Maas, honestly, she's disappointed me multiple times before. So even though she has written one of my favorite series, would I say she's one of my favorite, like she's my favorite fantasy romance author? Probably not. So maybe not her. So maybe actually Sarah A. Parker, I would say the Twisted Sisters, Carolyn Peckham, and Suzanne Valente. And then Raven Kennedy. That's probably who I would say were my favorite authors. Though Raven Kennedy, I haven't read any other books other than the Plated Prisoner series. I need to pick up her Cupidity, Why Choose series. I do also want to read that paranormal, like, wolf shifter romance that she has that she co-wrote with, who did she was it Ivy Asher that she co-wrote that with? I can't remember. What is the last romantasy book that you read? I just read Gold. So I just read Gold. This is the 5th book in the Plated Prisoner series, and this one I gave 3.75 stars. It's probably my second least favorite book in the series, but I still really enjoyed my time, and I'm still so connected to the characters, and I have a feeling The Goldfinch is going to be like a 5-6 star read for me. I just can't wait to get to that one. Like, I'm ready for it. I'm so freaking ready. Guys, I am still battling this cold, so like my voice is starting to go. Okay, so I'm going to try to make these last couple kind of quick just so I don't tear my voice out. Okay, so what is the top 3 romantasy books on your TBR? Oh goodness, okay. I have like 50. Empire of Flame and Thorns, that one looks really good. I've seen that going around a bit recently, and it's like got Fae and Dragon Riders and Academy and just like a lot of tropes that I really like. Enemies to Lovers. Reign of Shadow and Endings, I really need to pick that one up. It's on my February TBR, so hopefully I will soon. That's like a dark fantasy romance that I just keep hearing a lot about. Nectar of the Wicked, that one is another dark romantasy I keep hearing a lot about. I kind of want to branch out even more into dark romantasy because I've always, so far at least, really enjoyed the darker kind of fantasy romances. And so those 2 are dark fantasy romances that are definitely on my TBR. Those are all like new series I want to start, not like series I want to continue that are on my TBR. Who are your favorite romantasy content creators to follow? Well, I already talked about Happily Ever April. Definitely go follow her. Jess from Honest Fiction. She's an absolute favorite of mine. Raven-haired reader, Rachel. She's awesome. Emmy. Mariana Moore. Larry Reads. Those are some that I follow. There's like so many awesome romantasy and fantasy romance creators nowadays. Let me know y'all's favorite romantasy fantasy romance creators down below in the comments. And I hope you guys liked this video. Once again, thank you so much, Peace Love Books, for sharing this tag. So much fun. I had so much fun doing this. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, fellow readers, keep reading and living your best life. You're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.